morning, my name is Nicole Briceno. Look around. Your phone, computer,
and Alexa all have one thing in common. That is voice assistants. Whether they are called Siri, Google, and so much more, at this moment, they may be eavesdropping into your daily lives and even this very presentation. Considering this, I will be able to answer this question. To what extent do Amazon's cloud-based services present a significant threat for U.S. citizens in exploiting financial information? While Alexa may have worked her way to the countless of U.S. citizens, the famous intelligent assistant has imposed a significant threat by exploiting users for financial gain. From the first graph here stating the most prevalent reason consumers do not have a smart speaker is because they are concerned the device will record what they are saying. Compared to these other reasons, this one has significantly increased in the past 2 years. Now, once we get more specific, there's an 8% difference from the not concerned category to the very concerned category. There is a steady increase between these three categories, while the last one is an increasing outlier. With communication continuing to be a staple in society, there are methods that Alexa may be able to hear vital information, including passwords. A consumer is not fully aware as to where this information essentially goes. The Internet of Things makes up these cloud-based services so that they are programmed to connect to one another, potentially leaking data. This data can be hacked in through third-party apps, plus the device is always listening. Hearing sensitive conversation encompassing confidential information may jeopardize one's privacy. Amazon's Alexa cloud-based services have become a staple in modern American homes, where nearly a quarter of U.S. households own the smart speaker. In fact, Amazon sold the smartest speakers in the quarter, as it has consistently risen since Strategy Analytics started tracking this segment. As we reference this slide, from Q4 of 2019 with 15.8 has sharply declined to 6.6 in Q1 of 2020. There's a valuable reason as to why these sales are no longer skyrocketing like in the past. This number is quite shocking. For instance, since Amazon's Alexa is programmed to always be active and prepared by the user, it must listen to the functioning word, "Hey Alexa," which may lead to recorded conversations. The author Bill Brenner asks, the main concern among security experts when it comes to smart home devices is the degree to which they're listening to. So they can obviously listen for any commands the user might utter, but what else is it taking it in? This also allows the reader to question what Amazon, the company, is planning on doing with these recorded messages, hence the profits going down. In the diagram aside, it shows a plethora of different smart devices that can be connected with one phone, but in this case will be an Alexa assistant. A technology analyst for the research firm Creative Strategy states, anything in the home, we will have more cameras, more mics, more sensors. The digital transformation citizens are using to make their daily lives easier. But what they are not aware of is what happens behind the scenes. The very connectedness of Internet of Things leaves it open to safety and security vulnerabilities. Every connected thing is susceptible to attack or misuse. This in the end will compromise information that has been saved through a simple camera from a doorbell and be able to identify the consumer. This thought of sharing unwanted information may lead to a lack of interactions with one another, and even paranoia, a mental illness that includes irrational thoughts. There is a large amount of trust being deposited on companies like Amazon. People, including myself, want to be aware that information is being collected and being secured effectively. While ethics suggest what we ought to follow and help us explore options to improve our decision-making, hackers do not have a sense of morality and will do anything in its power for personal gain. These actions, known as unethical hacking, is against the law, and those who engage in the act are considered cyber criminals. Hackers do not take into account their damages. According to this article, research from Checkpoint have warned about security flaws in certain Amazon and Alexa subdomains that could have let hackers access your personal details. The research revealed several vulnerabilities that could be exploited by a hacker crafting and sending a malicious link to the target user. This means once the link is clicked, it will direct them to a possible IP address that gives the hackers an opportunity to inject malicious software into the system without them even knowing. The victim's personal information will all be at their fingertips. On the other hand, supporters of the Amazon virtual assistant Alexa view that the great abilities such as home automation, messages, and free calling, etc., will both put ease into their busy life and triumph the security concerns many have. Amazon has publicly stated that any conversation recorded is solely used for training purposes. So what can we do to resolve this issue? Voice companies are also upgrading their software to make it easier for you to understand the data you forked over and how to delete it if desired. In September, Google debuted a new privacy setting for its namesake Google Assistant, allowing users to delete with a simple voice command. Alexa also has this option, though not by default, says Courtney Linder. This means there is a possible option that can secure privacy for the consumer safety device. By visiting the Amazon site, users are able to review their transcripts, listen to the voice recordings Alexa has sent to Amazon. The advantages and defects on the Internet of Things, choosing to be cautious can lead to both better decision-making and protection of privacy. Thank you.
All right, I do have a couple questions for you. Question 1. What evidence did you gather that you didn't use, and why didn't you use it?
There were several articles that were given to me by my professor in the beginning of my research process, which was not used in my paper because it focused on other portions of the Internet of Things. While there was one source that was given to me, which was an Amazon Alexa commercial video, and that did inspire me to get more in depth, although I did not really use it. It did help me guide my research question, which was a very big help. Overall, the evidence I found and did not use in the end was mostly because it limited or weakened my claims.
Okay, and what advice would you have for other people that are researching this topic in the future?
I would advise them to look for a variety of different sources that have credible reviews, such as Forbes, New York Times, Wired, and so much more. Also, try to focus more on looking for data from research that actually convey results, focusing on one prompt as opposing to looking for data that targets multiple areas. The reason for this is that Amazon's Alexa is not appealing to everyone, and there needs to be a strong argument in each aspect of research involving the topic of the Internet of Things.
Okay, thank you.